Hi, I'm Tay, founder of WithLove charity, and we're on a mission to give children with cancer the opportunity to be kids.
We got this.
Okay. I currently live in Nashville, Tennessee, but I didn't always. I grew up in a small neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida. My days as a kid were filled with playing outside with friends, dance classes, large gatherings with my family. I was very involved in school. Loved Barbies, of course, your typical girly girl. My childhood was fun and exciting until that was all taken away from me. Summer leading into my 5th grade year, I wasn't myself. I was very tired, lethargic, fatigued, couldn't keep up in dance class, and I didn't want to see any of my friends. This was so out of the norm for me, but we knew something was really going on when this mass started growing on the side of my neck. I don't think my parents realized what this would mean for me or for us as a family. On September 11th of 2001, I was 10 years old, and I remember specifically being on a school bus for a field trip. The school bus came to a stop, let all of the other kids off, and I was told by the driver that I had to stay on. I thought I was in trouble. Tay never gets in trouble. So I was freaking out. And at the same time, the radios were also going off about everything that was going on in the world. I didn't know that the moment that I stepped off the bus to get into my parents' car, I was going to be driven to the hospital where I would have to do an emergency biopsy and have my dad there, my mom there, all in tears. I had no idea what was going on. And at the end of the procedure, was sat down, looked into my face by the doctor, and he said, "You have cancer." What? What is cancer? Do I get a shot and a lollipop and then you send me home? What is this? I didn't know that moving forward meant losing my hair, losing my friends, and losing my childhood. At such a young age, you really pick up on the emotions of your family. You pick up on your environment. So to be torn away from school every day, playing outside, dance classes, and stuck into a cold, isolated room for weeks at a time, you lose who you are. You almost feel like this weird science fair project. And you're not a kid anymore. You're a number on an armband. You're on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel today? Your 2 a.m. ER visits because you have a fever over 100. Your constant vomiting. You're different. Going through all of this at an age where I was old enough to pick up on the seriousness of what I was going through and how it affected my family, but also at an age where I just wanted to be Tay. I wanted someone I could relate to who had been through what I had been through and say, "You're gonna make it." That's all I wanted. And so, as I got older, I didn't quite know how to get over what I had gone through or how to use that battle for something greater. And it hit me. It hit me when I turned 21 and they said, Tay, you don't need any more scans. You're free to go. But I still had this hole in my heart where my childhood used to be. And I wanted to fulfill that. So to celebrate my remission, I decided to throw a little toy drive together. And I didn't realize that this simple act of asking for new toy donations would really, really rally the community behind what I had been through in a way I could never imagine. So as I got to the hospital to deliver these new toys, child life specialist asked me if I wanted to pass out the items. No. I had overcome so much. I mentally didn't want to be put back in that box. But I sat with my mom and I sat with a few of the volunteers that were there to help me just drop off these toys. And my mom said, these kids need you. So I sucked it up. I sucked it up and I grabbed our 4 bins of new toys and took the elevator ride up to what was then the 4th floor of the oncology unit. I saw some familiar faces of old nurses, doctors, and I was shaking. But I put on this huge smile because I thought to myself, I'm exactly who I wanted to be when I was going through all that. They can't see me cry, ever. The first room I went into was a 1-month-old little girl who had just been diagnosed. I couldn't formulate the words to even introduce myself, so the child life specialist had to step in and say, this is Tay. And she's doing this toy drive called WithLove. We weren't even an organization yet. We just had a name. We just knew that we were doing this with love. And their faces lit up at the moment that the child life specialist said, she's her former patient. She survived cancer and she's here to give back. I just knew. I knew I had to do this for the rest of my life. I didn't quite know how yet, but I knew that where I had been and that dark, dark journey led me exactly where I was at that moment. I was there for the kids, but I was also there for the parents. I was a source of hope for them, that their little girl laying on the table could one day be a Tay, could one day be walking the halls of her former hospital, passing out new toys, sitting and playing with kids, and reminding them that through this entire battle, they're still kids. And I got to do that. I got to be that. I get to be that. Building the foundation of what WithLove is today took a lot of self-discovery and healing and team effort from a lot of incredible individuals. But what it all boils down to is the fact that I know how it feels to be that kid in that hospital bed, to have their childhood taken away from them. How essential it is to have some sort of normalcy and distractions of love, hope, and joy during that battle. And that's what we deliver. That's what WithLove delivers.